Hey ladies and gents, just a bit of an update on what's going on here and what animals are in care at the moment and what animals we've rehomed. And this is Jen, my partner.
Hi.
We were together a long time ago and back together again now after about, I don't know, 23 years apart.
Something like that.
Jen has got BJ, which is the lighter one. You can tell BJ by the long tail. And then there's Cohen. Cohen came in as an injured lizard. Was run over by two cars and had some broken ribs. And he's not too bad, he's very placid. BJ has got burns on her back from when the last owner had a heat lamp got dislodged, and so she ended up with a burn on her. That was quite a while ago now, but she's a big old girl. And Cohen, he's a boy, wild one from local, as you can tell by both of their tails. They are very healthy, and nice and fat tails. That's how you usually tell how healthy a lizard is.
And now I just got showered with seed thanks to the glass.
Up there, these two rat bags both came in as rescues. One came in with a broken wing, the younger one. The older female came in with poisoning through seed having fertiliser on it and getting eaten by the glass. The one there that you can still see, that's the younger one, and the one hiding up the back, well, around the side now, is the older female. They're both very healthy and they get the misters. There's mister jets all around here. As well as these two little guys, we have this one, which is a water dragon. BJ and Turbo's the water dragon. They came in
very,
as
very squirmy.
rehomes. Put her into the pond if you want.
Alright.
Put her into the water.
Guys, hang on.
Just a sec, it's a bit hard for me to see, but she's down there
I'll get
now
these two.
having some water.
Alright, hang on.
There's BJ. So the lizards run around here in the bottom during summertime. During winter they go into a large enclosure inside. I'm going to have to redesign and rebuild another one for these guys. We've got the pond here set up because Turbo is a water dragon. She absolutely loves the water. We were told that they were both, BJ and Turbo were male, but upon having a look the other day, we realised that BJ was actually a girl when Cohen came into the cage and started showing off to her. And then we thought, oh, well, maybe it's time we had a look at Turbo, and made sure that that's a male after all, and surely enough it's a female. So, but we think Turbo might, BJ might be gravid at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. Well, there you go. There's him having a bit of a drink after being out where he was, because there's not much water around here. So now that he's got access to a good amount of water, he's actually absolutely loving it. So they're both going really well. And this little girl, hey, what's the matter? Now that she's got plenty of water here, she's actually starting to get rid of that last shed that didn't quite come off of her face. These guys spent last winter at their last home outside for the winter, as wild ones would out here. And they're actually used to... What are you doing, ratbag? Both Turbo and BJ came from pet shops down in Adelaide. So, and it's good that Cohen is basically the same temperament. Sometimes he doesn't like being picked up, but once he's picked up, he absolutely loves it. So, that's good. Turbo, on the other hand, different story. Turbo likes nothing better than being by himself and not having anybody around. Or herself, not having anybody around. So, just like a little crocodile, they love the water. And will spend most of the day in there and even sleep underwater. Just come up for a breath and go back down and go back to sleep again. These guys, you can still see the older female. When she came in, she had white and grey all through her belly and her chest. But as she's gotten healthier, she's lost a lot of that and she's getting the nice bright pink back again. She was very dull when she came in, but that was the poison. So yeah, that's these guys. And what I will do is I will go in a moment and show you Priest, the snake, Sweetie, the 28 cross Port Lincoln ringneck parrot, and Henry, named after the little chicken hawk in Foghorn Leghorn. And after that we'll have a bit of an update. Unfortunately not a nice update, but an update about BB and another little rescue that we had come in, Luna. But we'll get into that shortly. Alright. This guy here is Priest. He's a far north Queensland coastal carpet python, and he comes from pretty much the same place I do, up in far north Queensland, around Cairns. And we measured him yesterday. He's 2.35 metres, so a bit under 8 foot long. He came to us just under 6 feet, I think he was. He's a rehome. The lady that had him couldn't look after him anymore, so it won't be long until he's needing a new enclosure, because as you can see, he's getting quite large and he eats a quail, a Caturnix quail, approximately every 4 to 6 days during the summertime. He had a feed and a shed yesterday, so he's going very well, and he's very heavy now. Around 13 to 15 kilo at the moment. I'll put a photo that I took yesterday up. I had him outside getting some sun. He was a bit pissy yesterday, but he had shed and fed. Normally he's great. I can just hang him off of me and that's no worries at all. Got some photos with Jen as well with him. He's a great snake. This enclosure here is 1.6 meters, I think it is. So he'll be needing another one in the near future. I'm designing something that should fit him very well for the rest of his life at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. This little girl is Sweetie. She's a 28 parrot cross Port Lincoln ringneck. They interbreed here in this town. So you can tell when a 28 parrot doesn't have the yellow on the chest. So when they're crossed, you know, because of the yellow. She came in with a busted pelvis. So she's been in here for a little while now. She's going very well. The leg still is a tiny bit turned out, and just because of the injury she probably won't go back into the wild, but the person who brought her in, as long as they get all the permits that are required, they'll end up probably taking her. Hey, what's your matter, little girl? What's your matter, little girl? And as her name suggests, she is a sweetie. She's a good little girl, aren't you? Hey, aren't you? She gets into a little bit of trouble every now and again. We let her out to make sure that she's good with her flight. And she has a habit of getting into my truck collection and pulling them off or chewing on them. That's why they're in a bit of disarray at the moment. That lot, or else she'll get into the slot cars. So she gets into a little bit of trouble every now and again. Little rat bag she is, aren't you? We've got 7 aviaries coming. Now that she's good enough to go out into an aviary, she'll be going out into one of those. We did have her out in the flight aviary for a short time, but there was a little bit of friction between her and some of the other parrots, so she came back inside just until the aviaries arrive. Hey, what's your matter? She's a beautiful bird, and the temperament is absolutely great. If I didn't know better, I'd say that she'd had human contact before. Yeah. So that's Sweetie. And now I will go and show you Henry. This is Henry. The name comes from the chicken hawk from Foghorn Leghorn. Henry is a Nankeen kestrel. He's a boy, and he came in with a broken wing. We had to go down and pick him up from the local tennis courts. He'd been chasing another bird, and from what I can gather, he ran into one of the tennis nets that was left up overnight. So he ended up a little bit injured, and he's got a little bit of a scar on top of his head where he lost a couple of feathers. In the background there's a quail. Like our snake priest, he's not overly keen on rats and mice, but they both absolutely love quail. And I breed quail so that when I do have birds of prey, I can feed them those, because these guys hunt quail out in the wild anyway, so it's more like the food that they actually eat. These guys pick up mice, but rats aren't something that they get normally. So quail is more what they actually eat in the wild. Henry, he was a bit of a bugger and does not like bandages, so kept on pulling the bandage off, and therefore the wing hasn't set perfectly right, as you can see from Henry's right hand wing. Where's my hand? Yep, that one. So, but he's great. He doesn't only get the quail, he also gets mealworms, crickets, the occasional grasshopper, other things that I come across. So plus we get regular lots from the hardware, the local hardware here, that's we get our crickets and mealworms and that from. So that's great. I'm also about to start breeding mealworms and superworms, so that'll be good. But Henry also takes mealworms from the hand, which is good. Basically almost right away it was taking them. Henry reminds me a lot of Hunter, a male Nankeen that I had a few years ago, and it has crossed my mind more than once that this might be Hunter. Some of my earliest videos I had a pair of Nankeens. I'm pretty sure Hunter was the male, I might be wrong though. So, I'd have to go back and check. So many animals, so many names, it's hard to keep up. But he's great, like almost straight away he was eating mealworms out of the hand, which was good. But he's been in this hospital cage for a bit, just so that he keeps quiet and doesn't try to fly and that sort of stuff. But very shortly, now that the wing's getting good, he'll go out into an aviary, and just to build up a little bit of muscle, and once that's done, then he'll go into the flight aviary to get the flight muscles really built up, and hopefully it'll be releasable. If not, if for some reason he cannot be released, then we'll find a conservation park or a raptor park or a zoo that will take him, and he can be an educational bird because he is so quiet and handleable, so that'll be good. But the main hope is always to release, so we'll see how it goes. But that is Henry. Now to talk about the kangaroos that we had in care. BB, which was our blue boomer, or the blue red kangaroo. And we had another little girl that came into care as well, Luna. She was a little eastern grey kangaroo. With BB, we had a really bad thunderstorm one night and he injured his leg. We got the vets out from Clare, which is 100 odd kilometres away, 130 k's away, or about 80 miles. They came up the next morning to stitch him, and because he was injured we had him inside. He was inside for about a week. Yep. And all of a sudden one evening he started to sound as if he had a bit of a cough. I immediately got a bit hesitant. BB was always in absolute great condition. Fat, solid, just healthy. So for him to all of a sudden have a bit of a cough was something unusual. And within 12 hours he passed away. That ended up being toxoplasmosis from cat crap. Now, where he usually had his sunbaking spot where he digs up the ground and lays down during the day, a cat had come in, used that roughed up dirt as a kitty litter box, and without me knowing about it, or without BB knowing about it, he just laid down where he normally would. And he caught the toxoplasmosis. Now, he can have that for a week to 2 weeks without even showing any symptoms whatsoever. Toxoplasmosis doesn't only affect kangaroos, it also is a bad thing for women that are pregnant, which is why they say that women that are pregnant shouldn't be around cats or cat feces. Toxoplasmosis is carried in cat feces. And unfortunately, that's what BB got. So over the course of 12 hours, he ended up with pneumonia and passed away. Which, I had BB since he was a pinky. For those that don't know what that is, that's when you get a kangaroo that doesn't have any hair. It's so young it still doesn't have hair. And Luna was the same. She came in as a pinky, and I'll put some photos up. You spend a lot of time with kangaroos like that. Like, they slept on my chest, they slept in our bed, they went everywhere with us. It's like having a baby, because you feed these animals 3 hourly, and then it works its way up to 8 hourly. So you spend a lot of time, and it is just like having a baby. So to lose Luna and BB was a big kick in the butt for us. Luna we lost. I did beekeeping as well, and started up a bee group in the town where we live. And a lot of the other people haven't done bees before, so I go around to their houses and help them out with their bees regularly. We went to help a friend out with their bees, and Jen got stung, and so she raced inside, and it was like 4 minutes later. I needed to go over to the ute to grab some stuff, and I did. I heard a sound at the ute, and Luna was laying in the footwell of the car. I grabbed her and got her to Jen, but Jen tried CPR with her. But unfortunately she got stung by a bee as well, and where BB and Nugget had got stung, and the worst they got was a fat lip. Some kangaroos are just like people, and unfortunately Luna got anaphylaxis and passed away very quickly. It was a minute. So we lost 2 joeys this year. BB we lost in June, start of June, and I decided that I needed a after having BB for such a long time and being so close to him, I decided I needed a break from Joey's for a little while, but then a week later Luna arrived and she was a little pinky, and then we raised Luna up, and then in December we lost Luna. So after losing 2 Joeys that we were very close to within 6 months, myself and Jen are taking a little bit of a break from looking after Joeys. We still care for everything else, as you can see. Parrots, raptors, snakes, lizards, all sorts of stuff we still do, but just for now we're taking a break from Joeys. Yeah, it breaks your heart when you get so close to an animal. They are like children. When you're up every 3 hours feeding them, cleaning them, making sure they're healthy, making sure they're good, just going back to bed, and for them to be so healthy and then losing them so quick was certainly a kick in the bum for us. So we're just taking a break from them for now, but yeah, BB and Nugget were definitely special to us. So it was very, very sad to see them go. And BB and Luna, yeah. So they're both buried here in the yard. And yeah. So that was a bummer, but like I say, we'll take a break for a while. We will do Joeys again, no doubt. We will still get Joeys in, but what we will do is probably take the Joeys and give them to other carers so that they can be cared for instead of us raising them. When we feel more comfortable with getting back into that again, we've had other call-outs for Joeys where we've had to go and get them out of people's yards and re-release them and that again. They haven't come into our care as such. We've just gone, caught them, taken them out bush and released them.
Relocated them.
Yeah.
Like that Euro that bit you.
Yeah. Ended up a little Euro female that was in someone's yard. There was no food or water or anything in there. And as I was catching her, she decided to embed her teeth in my hand in a very serious manner, which has done a little bit of damage. The actual wound is healed now, but I've still got some nerve damage. I think she's cut the nerve going into my index finger and my thumb in my left hand. I can't feel them, so...
She was just really scared.
Yeah, she was just scared.
2 aliens trying to grab her. It's like...
Yeah. But we took her out bush and released her, and no worries at all. But just for now, we won't actually raise Joeys. We'll put some pictures up of Luna and BB. BB, people would see on here. He helped me out a lot, not just by being here, but also with other Joeys that I had come through. He was like a big brother to them, and I've got videos of him and JP having their little boxing matches, and even though he was a decent sized red, he'd just play like a little baby Joey with them. BB was a special kangaroo, that's for sure. Just gentle giant. And he would have been a big boy when he got bigger, if he had it.
He was about my height standing up.
Yeah.
I'm like 5'2", so I'm not exactly tall, but he was pretty tall.
Yeah. He was about 2.5 when he passed away. He would have got to about 8 foot, and he would have been a big, solid boy. So, yeah. But that's why we won't have Joey videos for a while, and that's also why I haven't posted any videos for a while, is just, yeah, I haven't wanted to really talk about it or anything else for quite a while, so this is the first time I've sort of sat down and gone through it. It happens. Alright, ladies and gents, we will get going, and the incubator makes a bit of sound, and I need to get the incubator back on, so we will get going. Have a good day, and catch you later from here in the middle of nowhere. Alright.
Bye.
Hey, little girl. What are you doing?
Why don't you eat the green grass instead of the brown grass? Be more tastier.
Mustn't like that bit. Little girl. Come on. Come on.
Luna. Nope, too busy eating grass.
Hey, Luna. Come on. What are you doing? Come on, lazy bum.
Oh, I don't want to hop, I just want to eat grass.
bit of a scratch. You're a bit of a scratch. A little bit of sour grass, was it?
What was that? Should get that on video.
Yeah, must have got a foot tangled on a bit of grass, I think. What are you
Something
doing?
stuck in her mouth she doesn't really like.
Yeah. Hey, what you doing? Too much dirt. Chapter. Chapter. Come on, go for a run. Is that good girl? Hey. What are you doing, right bag? What's that?
Is that a chainsaw?
Yeah. What are you doing? Come on. Come on. Go for a run.
Now she's having a wee.
Ah, yep. There's always a little bit of a jump when she takes off.
Oh, she fell again.
Little silly girl.
Your legs are going too fast for her little body.
Every now and again she really wants to take off quick. Hey, little girl. Little rabbit. Little rabbit. And you. Hey. Hey. What you doing? What you doing? Come on. Come on.
No.
Come on, little girl. Come on, little girl. Where are you?
She does
Where
this,
are
the
ya?
less wobbly she'll be.
Where are you? Huh? What are you doing? What you doing? What's the matter? What's the matter? Huh? Showing off for the camera, are ya? head right up in there. Eh? What's the matter? What are you doing? Where are you going? Hey. Hey. Oh, you want to be picked up? You want to be picked up? I'm going to put the pouch down so she can jump in.
Luna. Whoop. Didn't go well. There we go.
Really silly girl.
Oh, you're all puffing. Are you all puffed?
No, well, that's it.